CAD 911, please state the nature of your emergency.
Hey, so in addition to solving problems where we can, sometimes it's cool to provide answers before you have questions. So in this installment of CAD 911, we're going to talk about custom raised ceilings, and this is just one of many. Wait till you see it. I'll do a dome, and then I'll show you the shortcut. When I was shown the shortcut, I was like, you got to be kidding me. But anyway, so I'm using SketchUp because it's actually amazingly accurate for 3D, way more than any other 3D software I've used. The only one that would come close would be like AutoCAD 3D, but it is difficult to go quickly because just the nature of it. But let me explain some things. Over here, you'll see tags. So part of what I'm doing is I'm learning this, and so I figure there's other people out there that might benefit from what I'm going through. Or so if you already know all this, just skip ahead. But so tags to me in my mind are layers, and when you just draw any old random object, it comes in as untagged. So you make a block or a circle or a sphere or whatever, something in 3D. Once you group it, once you triple click it and tap G, it's just an untagged object. And so I don't know if you can see this very clearly, but I put a 3-digit number in front, and then I describe what it is. And for the longest time, I had somehow, either the default or whatever, right here where you see my cursor, it would sort these by visual or hidden. And I didn't like that because I would turn something off and then want to turn it right back on, and it would resort to the bottom of the list. Then I found finally you just have to click, just sort of like Excel. See how it's got a little arrow now? So now these are going to be in alphabetical order, and that's what I wanted for the numbering system. Because I want to set up scenes, as you see across here on these tabs, in the sequence that I would build something. And so let's just start. So I turn on, and so scene 1 starts like way off, but let's just look at this. These are your wall plates. A good designer is going to either put one of these type of custom ceilings in a master bedroom, or maybe in a dining room or some kind of specialty room. Usually it's a 1-story with stick framing so that you have the ability to build up into the attic. So all you people that are like big truss fans, you can do some of this with trusses, but the truss company has to custom make each single truss because everything in here changes, and they'll charge you a lot more money to have custom ceilings. That's why you don't see it too often. But if you got big, deep pockets, go ahead. But it's easier to just get a framer who's competent, and they'll build this. So you start with the room, and you put beams in it. So let's turn the beams on. And all the plans I've ever done, if they didn't dimension, the dimension is always from inside the framed wall over to the edge of the beam on the inside. So you're going to need hangers, and then you're going to need cross beams. And you've built a box, and this is the lower part of the box. And so this area here gets flat joisted all the way around. And then the inside is going to have the rafters. So, and I always like to do this too. Even though these cross beams are nailed and holding this set of beams pretty snug, over time, up in an attic where it's going from whatever temperature up to like 140 and back down to whatever, the wood dries out and it always wants to twist. So just go ahead when it's nice, straight and true, and just brace it. Give it some help, because any twisting in this wood shows up as cracks in your sheetrock. On this, you can use little hangers if you want to put in hangers or whatever, but it's easy just to use scrap blocks, 14 and a 7/16 and pressure block. So there you go. I think some of these, I was thinking if you're going to do sheetrock over 4 feet, it would break on there, but it only breaks to here, and then this part's open. So I think I was overthinking it. I usually just on the job site go in 16-inch centers in whatever direction. The only time that I will really try hard is if for some reason I need to have this in line with something over here, in line with something up top, so that I can mechanically connect them. If I'm in a seismic zone where they're going to want to have bracing that connects everything, then I might consider moving things around to accommodate that. Here's your upper beams, and same thing, this distance from there to there. And what I did in this instance was 8 and 12. So whatever the height of this is became the rise, and then I did 8 and 12 on the calculator. In fact, let's just do that. Let's go build calc, because I like that guy. He's good. There's the number I used. Wow, look at that. It holds the number. So I did, these are 2x12. So I did 11.25 rise, 8-inch pitch, run. And then that told me that from the inside of this, if I come over 16 and 7/8, that's what that is. So let's just hit it again and again. There you go. 16 and 7/8 is how far you come in so that you make an 8 and 12 angle. So there you go. Now, because I've done ellipses and I've done slope trays, but I've never done them together. So I thought I would draw that here and just see if it's doable. And it is. So there's more beam bracing to keep the beams from torquing over time. Here's all the little rafters. And so you're starting to see under here, the sheetrock hits the wall, comes over, and stops at the ends of the beam. So you can, your sheetrocker will rip that and make it work all the way around. And then he needs one more thing up here, these inverted valleys. And now he can run a piece from there to there. And when I say inverted beveled valleys, that's what I mean is you want it to be the bottom of each one of these, and then it lines up with this half of this little valley. Often I would call these hips, but we're not applying anything to the top, so they're not hips. We're applying it to this part, so this is a upside down valley, at least in my mind. I could be wrong. Yeah, don't take anything 100% from me, because, you know, framers, we like to think we know lots of stuff, and all we really know is what we're good at. So right here, you can tell, for some reason, I must have felt like I needed to line these up, and you could run a brace. You could nail a 2x4 to the side of this, and then it would come down to the side of this and to the plate, and it would kind of add some rigidity in this direction if it's needed. There's pretty much all the framing. And then you come underneath, and so you take 2 sheets of plywood and you lay them on the ground, and you calculate and cut the ellipse, and then you use that cutout ellipse to trace the same shape on the second sheet of plywood on this one. I don't have a line showing that, but you would have that, and that's how you would nail your blocking along that line so that it would end up looking like this. So we're upside down, and before you even put this piece of plywood into this hole, you could build all this on the floor. You could set your blocks, you know, and then just shoot down through the plywood into the block. And then when you're done, get some help, push it up in there and tack it all the way around. And then add this extra blocking here, because you're going to add your piece of plywood with the hole next. And there you go. And so now this is all the same flatness. So they can sheetrock this and then take the scroll saw or whatever they're using and cut this shape out of the sheetrock and sheetrock this lid. And then they have ways of either bending. It's not so bad on this part, but at this end here, it's kind of curvy. And I've seen guys do mesh and just mud this whole thing. And so when you're done, let's see if I can figure out how to flip us back. So all this will be up in the attic, and you'll have this kind of ceiling. It'll be, here's your outside walls of your rooms. You come in and it's flat, sloped, and then ellipsed. And so this is a true ellipse. It has a focal point like over here and over here. I'll click where, somewhere like here and here. So there's an equation. You can go online and find it. I just use my my calculator because the online calculators were kind of confusing. And I've already kind of written this up so that I know it works for me. And I will, maybe I'll, you know what I'll do? I'll take a screenshot, or I'll take a shot with my camera on my phone, and I'll add this to the video. But this is the information that it gives me. Whoops, I don't need that to be a video. I need this to be a photo. And then let's go like that right there. Nice. All right, so I'll add that so you can see the answers. And then you just go do it. So if you want to sit around and watch something fun, I'm going to show you the original video I did, and it has a music soundtrack and a bunch of other stuff. So stand by. Let's roll it.